So thank you very much to all of you. First of all, I would like to praise my players. We are playing 72-hour time distance, let's say, from our last game, such as Stellenbosch, obviously. So conditions very difficult to play in terms of recovery. We are playing also with some small issues that made us change the squad. And in a dry pitch with the turf quite long, making the game more slow. But I think that, and that's why I want to praise the players, because of the effort they did trying to, in the right moments and from the very beginning, make the game positive for our side. A very difficult game against a very strong team, playing in a very detailed and characteristical way. That doesn't allow us to press too much, because in 2 free touches they use the players in the front, so quite difficult to manage the game without the ball. So we tried from the very beginning to control it with the ball, try to arrive in scoring areas using the spaces that were provided. We could find the back of the defense a lot due to the fact that they also moved up in the pitch in order to press us. And I think the story of the game at halftime is the goals that we should have done so that we could be more comfortable. Obviously, naturally, second half, especially the last part of the second half, was more hard for us in terms of managing it. There were a lot of emotions also put it on the pitch regarding managing the result, obviously, and trying to get it, considering what had happened in the last 2 times we faced Stellenbosch. So the team there was a big commitment, trying to hold as much as possible the result. I just think we could have done and been more clever in the moment we could arrive on the goal and make second goal. So quite a hard game, quite a wonderful result. I think a good performance regarding the commitment and the level of difficulty that is here to play.
Coach, now take questions from the floor.
Coach, can I ask you just a general question on when you arrive at a new club? I mean, what are the important things that a coach like you needs to do in the first few days when you arrive at Sundowns? You arrived on Tuesday, I think, and you were playing on Sunday. What are the immediate things that you need to do?
Thank you very much for your question. It's indeed very interesting and very curious, because it's a hell of a job. First day from after first training session, or after my presentation, and a lot of meetings with all the departments. So try to understand the model of function of each department in order to immediately adapt small details regarding what I think is important for the team. But let me tell you, and I did it already, and I sent immediately after the first game to all the structure of Mamelodi Sundowns. It was very easy, because the structure is so professional, the level of everybody and the commitment on the tasks is so professional that my life was very, very easy. So I think that after the first group of meetings on the second day and on the first training session, we were able to put in practice some of the things we wanted. Second thing, very important at the same time, the group received us open arms, open mind. So that made us get our energy out so that we could connect ourselves. So I believe that after 1-2 days, we were all smiling. I also praise the players for that, the way they received us. And it was more simple to give steps in front in terms of what is the preparation of a coach. Third thing, to finish the question, it's important to pick the team from where it was and not drastically change the things. Otherwise, you can create discomfort. So gradually, with small details, we are trying to move the team forward with a lot of respect by the work that was done by Coach Mankova before us, and just moving forward from the point where it was. So no breaks and sudden changes on the team. Otherwise, probably the discomfort would be too big and the work would not be productive. And now from here, we gradually improve ourselves.
Yeah.
Coach, just on your assessment and thoughts on the quality of the opposition. I mean, they're a team that also competes in Africa, and 1-0 shows obviously just the battle that it was, more especially in the second half.
So, as I told you, Stellenbosch has a characteristic way of play, a coach that is settled here for a long time, a group of coaches with quality, group of players with quality, very quick players in the front with a very clear and capable and capacity to use the spaces, so very difficult to play against this kind of teams. Because as I said, when you go up to press, you can receive a ball in the back. So it's a counter movement in terms of managing. So you want to go high, but you need to pay attention on the space you leave behind. A hard work in terms of preparation of the game. But I think our players, the ones that were capable to sustain the effort and press as much as possible, but the ones in the back always be well positioned to cope, to deal with these long balls on the sides or on the back. And also Dennis controlling the space between the line and himself. And due to that, we could hold the situation. But very obviously, very difficult to play against this team, especially here, because it's more difficult even to pass the ball between us. The pitch is more slow, allows the pressure to arrive quicker. So, but mentally very well prepared the team, and tactically a very good answer.
We'll take the last round of questions. September, Rob, and we'll finish with Mark.
We have the introductions of the coach notes.
If you could please just respect the introduction as well.
Makonzo from Iski Times. Coach, looking at the team playing against Raja, playing against Stellenbosch now, your assessment into the players, where do you think you need to improve this team now?
The team needs to improve. It's not a question of the players. Obviously, we changed players from last game to today. Some of them because we needed to manage the fatigue. Some others because they had small issues. But the question here is that how we believe in all the players. Obviously, they are in different levels. Some of them are young. Some of them are more experienced. Some of them also have their own characteristics that allow us to cope with the moments of the game and with the different teams we are facing. For example, today we knew that we needed quick players so that we can control these spaces when we deal with long balls. So the question is indeed how much you can progress in the future. I think that we need obviously to be as much clever as possible to understand what is the other team providing us on the game. So where are the spaces that we can use and how to create the spaces, how to attract them to one side, change to the other one, how to use the between lines, how to use the space in the back, how to build up even better. Today was a challenge. Good work, obviously, from the coaches, but also wonderful work from ourselves in preparing the game and the answer from the players. Unbelievable. So difficult. Football is a little bit like this. We have our moments where we can control. We want to make these moments as big as possible. But there are other moments the other team also plays, and we need to respect that and be together and together as a group inside the pitch, understand the behaviors that we have and we need to have in order to control in the way with the way the opponents play.
Rob.
Coach, Rob Belford in the Times. Coach, just after the fast forward week, like you said, game came 3 days later again. How are you looking forward to a week with the team and just to familiarize yourself and for them to familiarize yourself with the whole technical team as well?
Yeah. As I told you, in terms of working with ourselves, with a group of people that we joined, it was very easy. Coach Steve, amazing person, so easy to relate with, so a mindset that very easily touched ours. From Coach Kennedy, the same. From Matthias Zandenberg, also. So the fitness department, the analysts. I think we indeed felt inside a family. And when you are coming from another country, we brought our excitement, obviously, our energy, but we are so well received. The things are flow easier, and I feel that they flowed from the very first day. Obviously, regarding your first point on the week, obvious naturally, but we need to this week mostly to give some rest to some players. We have a couple of players that are injured, some of them in the long term, but some others that have small issues that we can recover them probably in 1-2 weeks. And we need this air, let's say, to breathe. For example, I can tell you there's one player that stayed and we gave him 2 days without training so that he can breathe a little bit and feel himself more comfortable to then proceed the preparation. But also at the same time, obviously we need to gain time on the preparation, so we need the practices. But we also cannot push them too much. We must be clever on managing the effort, and we must be clever also managing the training sessions so that we don't take them too much on one side, but also we don't stop progressing in the work. So quite a challenge, but a wonderful challenge for the coach.
We'll conclude with Mark.
My name is Mark Gleeson. I'm the Supersport commentator. I wanted to ask, Sundowns is a unique club in terms of the fixture load in terms of South African football, and also always had a good reputation for physical preparation. But intriguingly, always a long injury list. And today, I mean, two players struggling with cramp. Admittedly, De Rook and Lunga have not played a lot this season. But is that something that you have picked up in your short time there? And if so, is it a bit of a concern that there are so many players always?
Yeah, let's understand that most of these injuries, they were traumatic injuries. So the worry is just that they are not there. It's not a matter of preparation for sure, because most of them is from traumatic questions, as we saw, for example, in the match in Casablanca. Um, so there are long-term injuries that we have to wait for them, like Temba, like Coates. So, but they will come on the right time. For those, we need to provide them the rest they need. There are a few ones that are coming back quite quickly. Teshrik is coming back quite quickly. Kekan is coming back for sure quite quickly. Musa, we expect him to come quickly back. Today from Marcelo was a small question. He suffered a punch. You don't control that. Obviously, we expect, let's see the assessment on him, that he can recover or be present again very quickly. And as you said, I completely cope with and agree with your question. For the players that didn't play for so long, like Hirsch today, it's normal that he can suffer in the end of the game, because the effort today was hard. The runnings, I'm so anxious to see the data from him, because for sure he has many meters of high intensity, and that pace. So I agree, just because of that, there's no major concern. Obviously, the concern is that we don't have the players, but we have a big group. We are working with the other ones so that we can give answers. And for that, that's what I said in the beginning. We need to be a very strong team, because probably in some moments we have to join ourselves and grab the opportunity to make a match and win it, even if it's from 1-0. Obviously, we'll make as much as possible to cope with each challenge that we have ahead of us in a different way. But this one, from the first moment, we understood it would be a last-minute game, because and we could not score. So we can have the result, and we were quite competent on that. Also, that's a team for the high level. That's what we want to build.
Can I ask a supplementary question, please?
Sorry, Mark, Coach Steve is waiting outside as well already, so I'm going to have to cut this one short. Apologies. Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.